So, what if consciousness wasn't some grand miracle? What if it was just an accident? Today, we're going to journey into a really strange philosophical world, one that's populated by talking statues and cosmic dragons, and they're all obsessed with that very question. Now, this isn't your typical story. It's a deep dive into annihilation and existential dread. Let's get into it. Right off the bat, we are not welcomed here. We're immediately thrown off balance by our guide, the other side beast. These first few words, it just set this incredibly disorienting, unnerving, and honestly, super intriguing tone. You're immediately forced to ask yourself, wait, where in the world are we?
And that question leads us right into our first section, trying to define this realm. But as you're about to see, this isn't really a physical place you can find on a map. It's more of a conceptual state of being. It's basically a byproduct of existence itself.
Okay, so get this. The other side beast defines this realm not as some kind of afterlife, but as the waste product of consciousness. The idea is that all our brain activity, every thought, every dream, every single fear, it doesn't just vanish. Here, in the beyond, it lingers. It grows on itself. It decays. It's the static left over after the broadcast ends.
Now that we have a sense of the where, let's meet the who. Let's meet the inhabitants. And these aren't just characters in a story. They are basically walking, talking philosophical positions, and every single one of them has been shaped by a really painful existence here in the beyond.
Our first encounter is with an object you'd normally just walk right past, a Gothic statue. You know, in our world, it's just silent, static stone. But here it has a mind, and it has some profound and frankly pretty unsettling things to say about the whole nature of consciousness.
The statue's theory here is pretty radical. It argues that consciousness isn't some miracle, it's not a sign of some grand design. Nope. It's just an accident, a byproduct of a chaotic, totally random universe. So in this view, our ability to think and feel isn't special. It's just a fluke, a momentary pattern in the cosmic static.
And this is the core question that this statue leaves us with. It challenges our entire perception of who we are. I mean, is our ability to think and feel and wonder about things, is it all just a meaningless glitch in a completely indifferent system? That's a heavy place to start. All right, so from the massive cosmic scale of chaos, we're going to zoom way in to something much more intimate and personal. Our next creature, a vividly colored mushroom, it embodies a whole different kind of existential pain, a deep, inescapable loneliness.
You gotta notice the nuance here. It's just heartbreaking. The mushroom knows it's supposed to be connected to this vast underground network. Maybe like we're supposed to be connected through society or the internet. But that theoretical link, it does absolutely nothing to change its reality. It feels completely and utterly alone. And this profound loneliness, it leads it to a really crucial question about the whole point of it all.
And this brings us right to the philosophical heart of this entire realm. It seems like no matter who you talk to, whether it's a statue born from chaos or a mushroom steeped in loneliness, their thoughts eventually just spiral down towards one single, all-consuming question.
Coming from a place of just intense isolation and a pretty fleeting existence, the mushroom arrives at this question. If you live and you die alone without any real, felt connection, what was the point? Did any of it actually matter?
And boom, here's where we see just how central this question is. The exact same words come from the Gothic statue, but for a totally different reason that's rooted in cosmic chaos. So it's not just one creature's private worry, it's the obsession that literally defines the beyond.
So once you start seriously asking whether anything matters, it's a really short walk to confronting the end of, well, everything. The focus here in the beyond shifts from a search for meaning to an obsession with annihilation itself. According to the insect beast, annihilation isn't just some abstract thing that's going to happen in the future. In this realm, it's a palpable presence. You can feel it. It's in the air, a constant oppressive feeling that just defines reality here. It's not something that will happen, it's something that is happening, right now, all the time.
Now, to help us really wrap our heads around this idea of a predestined doom, the inverted dragon offers up this really powerful, if kind of complex, metaphor. It wants us to see life not as a journey or an adventure, but as an hourglass, a finite measure of sand that was flipped over at the very beginning of time, and now it's just counting down.
And here's the breakdown of this absolutely wild theory. Okay, step 1. A cosmic screw-up. The dragon says that at the dawn of time, antimatter just failed to annihilate matter like it was supposed to. Step 2. That unfulfilled instinct for destruction got passed down, like a genetic trait, hardwired into the fabric of the universe. Which leads to Step 3. That makes us, all of life, the heirs of doom. And finally, Step 4. Our lives, our societies, everything. It's all just the hourglass counting down to an inevitable inherited self-destruction.
So this leads us to a really stark conclusion. After contemplating all this chaos and meaninglessness and predestined annihilation, the creatures of the beyond, they turn their gaze to the only alternative they can see, the void, the abyss.
And this slide just captures their final perspective perfectly. I mean, look at this. On the left, you have life. It's a horrifying nonsense, a raw, vivid, waking nightmare. But then on the right, you have the void, and notice how it's defined by what it lacks. No suffering, no heat, no cold, no thinking, no feeling. Just quiet. Nothingness.
In this quote from The Shade, a creature living right on the edge of that void, it just perfectly captures the overwhelming sense of weariness that hangs over this entire realm. After all the thinking and the feeling and the suffering, this simple act of existing has become an exhausting burden. And this sets us for the final, lingering thought of our whole explainer.
And there it is, the ultimate question posed by this strange, sad world. After hearing all the arguments for existence being chaotic and meaningless and painful, we're left to wonder, in a universe where suffering seems to be the default setting, would it have been better if life never happened at all? It's a truly chilling thought to end on.